Hello, my name is Joseph Pirayou. I want to welcome you to another program, in the beginning, Ashur. As always, this is a live program, and if you have questions and comments, you can send it to us. If I can answer it right on the program live, I will do it. If not, as many of you as know, we do a question and answer specifically program. In this program, I might need help regarding something that the subject of today. But let me start with the subject. About a month ago, or a little bit more in October, there was this YouTube video by this. Can we see that? Yeah. So this is the YouTube video that was sent to me. The subject is Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac versus Ashuriah, and there's a photo of a person, I don't know who he is, it's on YouTube. Then when you see, when you go to YouTube, and at the end of the program, we will give you the link to this video that you can see for yourself. So when you open to see the video, first thing that you will see on the screen is this. It says in three languages. I'm going to show it to you. So it's in three languages. At the bottom is English. It's that the subject of the program is about the difference between the overall name Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac. Then the next part before he starts talking, let's show you this one. And it says his name is Archdeacon Emmanuel Yohanna. He's in Nuhadra, North Garbia, north of our land. And it was done October 2024. One other thing is that this video is in Eastern dialect. So those of you who only understand our Western dialect probably might have a hard time understanding him. But there are some Arabic words that he uses and some words that are in Ashuri, which I don't know because I speak the Eastern dialect, but with the Persian, as I mentioned before in the last program about effective communication. So those of you who understand the Eastern dialect, our language, you will be able to watch it. It's less than 8 minutes, thank God. And that's about it. So today's program is about this video that was sent to me, and I'm going to go over the information. I have translated to the best I could because sometimes when we have our language to translate it in English, you have to really extend certain word. But let's get started. So, and oh, we have the video too. Beautiful. So the subject, as is mentioned in the beginning of the video, is that Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac versus Ashuri. So when we say versus in America, that means there is a fight, there is conflict, like two people are boxing, like Ali versus Frazier, or the soccer team, Barcelona versus Real Madrid, or you know what I'm trying to say, versus, as if like we're fighting, or there is conflict, there is something versus, like in the court, it's like Joseph versus I don't know, Assyria TV. Some people suing some people, the court. So there is a versus when it's used. Maybe they don't know. Maybe there is something. I don't know. But I went through the video. I just wanted to share the information that this archdeacon and archdeacon, honestly, I don't know where that fits in the hierarchy. And he's from the Assyrian Church of the East. So, and in Nuhadra, north of in our homeland. So the hierarchy, I don't know where it stands as far as, so deacons, I didn't know they were called priests, but in the program it mentions Rabbi, he's Rabbi Gasha. So I don't know. I'm guessing he's priest, but the title is archdeacon. So he's part of this hierarchy that they have this patriarch Mar Abba Royal. He's on the top. Then they have metropolitans, bishops, priests, and all these. He falls a little bit down there, the archdeacon Emmanuel Yochanan. Anyway, so that's the person. Because we will get to the part that the person talking and the purpose So the purpose of this video, when I was going through it, I'm going to go through some notes that I took here to make sure that I'm communicating it effectively with you. So in the beginning, it says why he personally does not accept name Ashur, and versus the what they call it, Assyrian, Chaldean, Syria. Then he goes on. It says back in 1972, when the regime was under Saddam Hussein, and also later, year 2003, when the regime changed, Saddam was dethroned and new regime took over. He said both during these two times, back in 1972 and 2003, there was this they needed to identify the people in the country, and in 1972 they had three names. I didn't know about that. I thought we had one name, but doesn't matter. So he says back in 1972 they designated the people, the minorities, what they were, so they grouped them, and I guess there was some kind of protection they needed, some help, so each group would get some kind of a benefit by being an Iraqi citizen. Back in 1972, there was the designation, as he says, Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac. When we say it in our language, he said, Aturaye, Chaldaye, Suraye. So when he says Suraye, he got me a little confused, but I think he's talking about Syriac, or in Farsi or Arabic, they say Syriani. Regardless, 72, he said the designations they were made, but a couple of years later, he started attacking and killing our people, especially in the Barbar region. So it was not a very pleasant thing. But when the regime fell, and in 2003, that designation, when the new government took over, they wanted to designate our people, and they said, you people are one, yet you have three people. And he mentions that what I'm saying is that everything I'm saying is like the portions that I got from the video, that there are three names that they have chosen, but with a slash. They say they take us as being one people with three different names. You know, like somebody was asking me, how many gods do we have? Is it three gods or one God? You know, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Seems like this is the issue. We are one people, but we are Chaldean, Chaldean, I'm going to say in our language, Chaldai, Aturai, Surai. So 2003, the designation was made. There is a slash, three names, but they count us as one. That's what he's saying. Then he says that when we use the name Ashuraya, ya Ashur, it makes us weak. Weak. We and W's. So he's pleading, like, by using a name that is foreign, you shouldn't do that, because it's in the law. They have to know who we are specifically. So when he's speaking in our language, he says Aturaye, Kaldaye, Surai. He keeps saying that, right? I'm trying to get to a point. If you stay with me in a couple of more minutes here. So, and he says that every one of these people, they use that name with pride. Aturaye, they're proud of being Aturaye, Kaldaye being proud of Kaldaye, Surai being proud of being Surai. So, and he says, please don't make us weak in the country, right? Before I go any further, one thing that it hit me, he keeps saying in the country, under the law, we have three names, and he's speaking in our language, Aturaye, Keldaye, Surai, right? Can we show that the beginning of the program, when it's in three languages, it says the subject of today's program? So as I was saying, he says that in the country, because of the law, we need to designate, and we cannot say Ashur. We have to say we are recognized as Aturaye, Keldaye, Suraya, right? Are you with me? So we have three languages here. On the top one, it says Atu Raya. In the English part, says about the difference between the overall name, Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac. In the middle, that is Arabic. I don't understand Arabic, but I can read it. And some parts of it, I don't need to be explained what I'm reading. It says, الفرق بين السمية شاملة آشوری کلدانی سریانی in parentheses و اسم آشورایا. فرق in Farsi means difference. The difference between Ashuri, Kaldani, Syriani this is in Arabic, and S means name. So the difference between the names Ashuri, Kaldani, Syriani and the name of Ashuraya. Both our name in Arabic is Ashuraya. How do I know? It's right there. And his own program that he's saying we should not use the name Ashuraya. I didn't go outside. This is his program. And you see the video on YouTube. That's how it starts. About the difference between the overall name, Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac. In that one, he doesn't put the Ashuraya in English, but in the our language, let's say Aturaya, go with what he wants to say. I don't care. It says Aturaya, Chaldaya, Suryaya, Ushimma, Ashuraya. In the our language, he says Aturaya, Ashuraya. Arabic, it's the same. Why am I bringing this? He says, later on, he says, nobody uses that name. We are trying to come up with a new name. New name. I mean, new name, right? New name? Is that a new name? Ashur, Banipal? Remember, we talked about the Ashur Banipal project, not Ashur project, because Ashur, they can change it to Atur, to Assyria, to anything. You cannot change Ashur Banipal's name. And the spelling has changed. Before it used to be Assur. So nobody, according to this archdeacon, nobody uses that name, right? And I know in Iran, in Farsi language, they call us Ashuri. And Kurds call us Ashuri. So in the video, when you're watching, he says nobody uses that name. So if anybody is communicating in Arabic, in Farsi, and in Kurdish, if they're communicating in that language about us, the word that is used is Ashur and Ashuri and Ashura, Ashurian, Ashurian, al-Ashuri. Any version you take, it says Ashur. Now, how many Arabic, Farsi, Kurdish speaking people are in the world? Hallelujah. 1 billion? Right? So I'm not trying to make fun of this person. He says nobody's using it. Iraq, they're using it. The Kurds are using it. The Iranians, they're using it. The only ones that he has problem with to use it is us, our own people. He doesn't want us, just us. You know, the Ashuri, Aturaya. He says, no Ashur, Aturaya. And he says, it's going to create conflict. It's going to create more when you bring something new. It's the original. So I'm confused. You know, I have an old friend of mine back when I used to live in LA. Something came up, and you know, he had that heavy Persian accent. You know, I have that accent too, but his was like when he was getting excited. He says, "Joseph Chan, I am confused. What happened?" And I was like, when I was like listening to this guy talking about our name not being used, it's a new name. I was like, remember, my friend, I'm confused. What is happening? What is happening? Why? Why? I mentioned the purpose of that program was what? To tell us why he doesn't like or doesn't accept, or however you want to put it, the name Ashur, right? Simple. But who is it that is saying it? Is an archdeacon from Assyrian Church of the East. As I mentioned, there is a hierarchy in there. Mar Abaroel is the patriarch, and they all come down with their, you know, whatever positions they are. I'm more familiar with the Roman Catholic because I used to be part of that. So they have cardinals and this and that. So when he is speaking, that would be my question. When he is speaking, is it his personal idea or is it approved by the hierarchy? Or the hierarchy doesn't care what he's saying? Because specifically, see, if me as an individual not belong to any church or organization, political, anything, I sit here and I talk. United States, we have the First Amendment, freedom of speech. As long as I don't make any terrorist claims, or there's fire in theater or things like that, I'm going to kill you. As long as I don't say these, we have freedom of speech. And based on that, this guy has the freedom to say whatever he feels like saying. First, what is the purpose? Because the logic, I don't get it. Can we show some of these other photos, like in the like those two pilots? I just want to give you example of this word, Ashur. These are two pilots, and in Arabic, I'm reading Tayyara Ashuri, Captain Elias Ilu, and the other captain. And we have Ashurin. This is during the time that ISIS, they start killing our people in Khabur. There were demonstrations in Arabic, Ashuriyun. Those of you who read Arabic understand even Farsi, because as I said, the same alphabet. We have in the red Ashuriyun, Al Shabab Al Ashuri. So these are all Ashuri in Arabic, in Farsi, in Kurdish. Why is this bothering this archdeacon that we not use that name? And he calls it a new name. And by using that new name, we're creating problems. So one thing that was interesting before I finish is that he says towards the end, he said, what problem would the name Ashur solve that the name of Atur cannot? And he says, Ashur name builds walls and breaks bridges. He said, we want to build bridges and break walls. Simply, when you break walls, wall of separation. I mean, we have this name slash Assyrian, I mean, in English, right? Assyrian, Chaldean, Syriac, slash. So when you have slash, slash is like a wall, right? They accepting the wall, but they're not saying it's a wall. It says, oh, three different ethnicities. Then he says, what problem would name Ashur solve that the name of Atur cannot? Well, him being an archdeacon from the Assyrian Church of the East, you take it that they might know some of history of our people. Back when we became Christian, it was early on, like within the first 20 to 30 years, maybe sooner, maybe later, because during that time, our people went into different, there are two different empires that our people lived. One was the Roman, one was the Persian Empire. And their borderline was somewhere in the Middle East, the Syria of today or Jordan, because some of our people fell under the Roman jurisdiction, some fell under the Roman Empire jurisdiction. In the book that we have here by Dr. Vigran, it says as an introduction to the history of the Assyrian Church or the Church of the Sassanid Persian Empire, and he takes it all the way to the year 640 when Islam starts in the Middle East. So our people, when they became Christian in two different empires, they were one. 300 years into being Christians, then individuals came like Maron, Yaqub, Nestorus. We have these names Maronite, Jacobite, Nestorian. Some years later, we have Sulaqa. From that came the Chaldean, right? The way this person, this archdeacon is talking, is he is okay and calls him ethnicity, calls Ashuraya ethnicity, calls Chaldea ethnicity, calls Syrianaya ethnicity, even though he should know the history. I mean, it's in the books. It's, you know, he's a priest. What is the position of a priest to know their history, right? The history of their church, the history of their faith. That's what I think. What is their position? What is it that you're doing? Talking about walls and bridges, right? What problem would name Ashur solve that name of author cannot? If we had stuck with that name Ashur from the beginning, that then became Christian, there would be no Chaldean name, there would be no Syrianite name, there would not be Aramean, there would be nothing. And this is actually our name. We let other people tell us who we are, our identity. See, effective communication. What is effective communication? If they had that effective communication, that we had that one original true name, Ashur, there, we wouldn't be where we are right now. Please be, he meant that Ashuraya, we have this comment I'm trying to read. Please, he meant that Ashuraya in Syriac literature, meaning in our own literature, it is not used. Right. As I said, maybe I misunderstood. There is another one. Ashuraya is only found in More Michael Rabo's Chronicle. Well, thank you for sharing, but unfortunately, I don't know who's Mar Michael Rabo's Chronicle. What year is that? If we can share that, I would really appreciate it. We don't have too much time today because we have another live program coming up at the top of the hour. But this is, that's what it is. Communicating, effective communicating. By you sharing what you know, we put all this information together, we learn from each other. So Ashura is only found in more Michael Robo's Chronicle. Great. So there is something in the writings. However, in the Bible, in the Ashuri Bible, in our language, it doesn't say Aturaya. Died year 1200, 1199. So perfect. I have to check on this guy to I learn something new every day. Perfect. Thanks for sharing. So back going to original, our name, right? It's not used by us in our literature, right? So we shall finish our program with this. There is this Bible in English translation. It's called Complete Jewish Bible. Few of my favorite verses are these: Isaiah 19, 21 to 23, or is it 23 to 25? I should know better. What is it? Can we see that first one, Isaiah, in the Jewish Bible translation? 23, Isaiah 19, 23 to 24. How can I forget? But I did. So it says, on that day, there will be a highway from Egypt to where? Atur, Assyria. He says, Ashur, these are Jews. Since I remember when I was in Iran, they used to tell us Jews are no good, Jehud, bad Jews, Jews are this, Jews are negative, 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 right? And I can see it now with the Israel fighting the Hamas or Palestinians, everybody. I don't hate or like anybody that is on my side is my friend. This translation is the only English translation that says Ashur. Are they wrong? Our own people didn't use it. In English, Jewish translation, there's a highway from Egypt to Ashur. Ashur will come to Egypt. and Egypt to Ashur, right? That's when these Jews who have become Christian, when they read this translation of the Bible, they would know us as Ashur. That's how it is communicated to them. They wouldn't know what Ashur is. They wouldn't know what Assyria is. Nothing. That's the issue. My friend, that you gave us those two comments. I appreciate that. And as I mentioned, when we come towards the end, who's building the walls and who is creating bridges? The walls were built by these different individuals, each one of them claiming his way of Christianity was true. Jacobites, Maronites, Nestorians, Chaldeans, Sulaka. Then we have Aramean, we have Chaldean, we have Syrian, we have Assyrian, we have Aturaya. And this name Ashur, it has hurt somebody's feeling. Well, it's Christmas time. Joyful, time to be happy, It's like the best time of the year. So for now, we will leave it. There's more question to be answered, but think about it. Why? Why somebody like that? Let me show it one more time. Please, that opening with 3 languages that he says, the hypocrisy. I don't want to get to that, but it's just in Arabic says the difference between Samiya, Shamala, Ashuri, Kaldani, Syriani, và Ism Ashuraya. What is the difference here? If somebody is reading Arabic, he's going to be confused. Joseph John, I am confused. Arabic you read says, what is the difference between Ashur and Ashur? How can there be a difference between Ashur and Ashur when somebody's reading in Arabic? Who's confusing everybody? Who's creating these walls? I wish you a Merry Christmas. We will see you next year. Until then, Ahiya Ashur Chaya Ashur. Thank you and bye-bye.
شيخاني